Yo, what's good, everybody? So One Piece has been on break this week, but if you haven't been keeping up with it, you're crazy. Man, we've had Rob Lucci get soloed by a vampire. We've had a proper introduction of the Dreadlocks roster from the Gorosei, and we've even had Bonnie and Vegapunk get isekai'd into Kuma's memory world. Today, we're going to be talking about Garp, but before we get started, go ahead, drop a like on that video. Make sure you subscribe. Hey guys, we're almost at 150 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe to support the channel, and we will appreciate it. And let's get straight into it.
Hey, listen!
Yeah, so the main question I want to ask to you guys today is, can Garp actually pull this off? And by pull this off, I mean, can he actually beat Blackbeard and rescue Kobe? We saw at the end of chapter 1071, just a few chapters ago, that Helmeppo was clearly getting nowhere with begging the other sword affiliates to help with the rescue of Kobe. But then Garp bursts on the scene, and his plan is to beat the snot out of Blackbeard and rescue Kobe. But can he actually do it? That's what we're here to talk about today, and I think that some of you might be surprised. We're gonna go over some yays or nays as to why he can or cannot beat Blackbeard. Starting things off with our first reason as to why he might be able to beat Blackbeard is he beat Rocks. That's right, he actually was the person who beat Rocks, and even though it was with Roger's help, he was ultimately hailed as the reason that Rocks was defeated. How or why? Were there mitigating circumstances? We really don't know yet, but we know that he was powerful enough to break up the Rocks crew and ultimately defeat Rocks. And just that alone is enough to put him in the top tier of the pinnacle of the One Piece power structure. I mean, we've seen the fallout from the Rocks crew that created a new generation of very powerful pirates. Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, Wang Ji. The list goes on from that Rocks crew, and the fact that Garp was able to actually not just beat Rocks but break up the crew, it really goes to show just what kind of power that Garp is dealing with here. Another reason is that we clearly see that old men in the One Piece universe are still very, very powerful, i.e. Rayleigh, Sengoku, and the list goes on. Old men in the One Piece universe are clearly depicted as some of the top tiers in the story. Let's take Rayleigh for instance. The man bursts on the scene at Sabaody and takes on Kizaru, a military admiral, while laughing about it. I mean, just think about this in your head. All the Supernova, who are the strongest pirates coming up at this point in time in the story, they're all freaking running for their lives, and Rayleigh comes in like, hey guys, this is so much fun. Bro is definitely a freak of nature. Sengoku is another one where he's an old man, but he's not meant to be slept on. And we saw this in showings at Marineford when he had clashes with Blackbeard, and of course when he combined with Fujitora to send Jack, who's a Yonko commander by the way, sent him back into the sea. So old men in One Piece are still extremely powerful in the One Piece power structure. And the last reason I want to get into is, of course, Garp has allies. A lot of people probably forgot about this, but Kuzan is definitely still waiting to double cross Blackbeard, and we know that Kuzan is definitely not evil. Therefore, it's only a matter of time before he double crosses Blackbeard. Personally, I think that Blackbeard should see it coming, but we don't know that for sure. And now you're talking about an admiral level character combining with that of Garp. And he's not even the only one, as we know that currently Blackbeard is in battle with Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, whose relationships with Marines is blurred at best. I mean, he's on good terms with Sengoku, who's besties with Garp. His mentor was a Marine, so it's not completely far-fetched to think that Law would somehow side with Garp in this fight, especially if he's already on the opposing side of Blackbeard. Of course, Kobe himself would be an ally to Garp once he joins the conflict. So now that we have a clear line in the sand with Garp, Kobe, Kuzan Law, and the likes of Helmeppo and others, it doesn't seem as bleak of a situation for him to actually take Blackbeard on. But now that we've got that out the way, we're gonna have to get into some nays, unfortunately, and we're gonna go ahead and start off with the fact that he's old. Garp is really old, and even though Garp, he wants smoke with everybody, right? I mean, we saw him definitely wanted smoke with Luffy at Marineford, and he even wanted smoke with Akainu, right? Like, he's not afraid of anybody in the verse. But ultimately, that's not enough of a showing for me to believe that confidently he can beat Blackbeard. And of course, we've seen time and time again that old men, even though they can keep up with the younger guys for a while, ultimately they don't have enough stamina to finish the fight, right? We saw this with Kizaru versus Rayleigh when Rayleigh saved everybody from Kizaru in the Sabaody archipelago, and we've seen it most recently with Rayleigh versus Blackbeard when Rayleigh rushed in to save Boa Hancock at Amazon Lily. He flat out states that he's glad that the Seraphim came and intervened because there was no guarantee that he was able to beat Blackbeard. So we know that for a fact Garp is going to at least have to rely on his entire team as a whole to just be able to even take on Blackbeard. He probably won't even be able to win. Another nay, of course, is that Blackbeard is essentially the new coming of Rocks. And this is a neat little plot thread that Oda planted a long time ago, but the revenge would be super sweet for the new coming of Rocks to defeat the man who actually beat the original Rocks. And I know this is how Blackbeard thinks about it in his head, but Blackbeard is Luffy's ultimate enemy after what happened with Ace, and of course they just have conflict ideals as a whole. So the idea that Blackbeard can take away Luffy's grandfather as well as his brother would definitely add a little bit more tragedy to Luffy's character, as well as solidify Luffy's resolve in beating Blackbeard and make it that much more sweet. And this would make for a really cool setup for the end of the story, and I can't wait to see what Oda does with this. If it's one thing Oda seems to really love, it's a poetic ending to a villain. I mean, look at Doflamingo, look at Kaido. Their endings were super poetic, especially Doflamingo, and I'm just excited to see how Luffy will inevitably beat Blackbeard. So at this point, I hear your teeth grinding and you're asking yourself, Sifu, what the hell is your answer? And personally, I do not think that Garp can beat Blackbeard. It's obvious that Blackbeard is just way too powerful and he won't be beat until Luffy beats him. And even then, Oda might have a couple more plot twists and it won't be as straightforward as we think. But the beautiful thing is that Garp does not have to beat Blackbeard to complete his mission. He just has to rescue Kobe, and that's why his dialogue is so important when he tells Helmeppo, let's go beat up Blackbeard and let's rescue Kobe. That is what inevitably will be the catalyst of him completing his mission. I mean, at the end of the day, even if Garp dies but Kobe is rescued, I'm sure he's gonna look at it as a mission complete. Of course, there's endless amount of possibilities between A and B, and I'm sure Oda will explore all of them, but let me know what you think. It's gonna be super interesting to see how we get there, but you guys tell me, is Garp going to be able to pull this off? Is he gonna be able to rescue Kobe? I don't think obviously that Kobe's gonna die in the story. I think that Kobe survives till the end of the story. You know, him and Luffy are basically, you know, day one partners. So let me know what you guys think below. Does Garp survive? survive? Does he die? Does he beat Blackbeard? Do we see something amazing from Garp? I can't wait to see it. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure you drop a like on the video. You guys have been rocking with me and I appreciate that so much. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell for future notifications on One Piece videos. This has been your brother from another mother, Seafood That Guy speaking. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.